Alright guys, today on The Art of Plating, we're going to do a couple of dishes for you. We've made some ricotta. All we did is we brought the cream, the milk, lemon juice up to 185, cut it off, call it a day. We added some dill in there to really bring out those flavors, and some lemon juice and zest as well. It's going to go really nicely with this herb roast carrots dish that we're going to make, and then a pan roast chicken dish with some fingerlings and a little pan sauce. It's all going to come together nicely. Check it out. Alright guys, now we're going to do an amazing heirloom carrot dish. Simply roast heirloom carrots with the ricotta that we made, some peppered honey, and some crumbled pistachio for texture. So we got these beautiful baby rainbow carrots. We're going to go right into the pan. There we go. Got some heat going. Hear that sizzle, sizzle. That's what we want to hear. We know something's going on there. We want to make sure that we have a nice wide pan, otherwise it'll steam and it'll never get that nice golden brown that we need, and everything else falls from there. So we're going to let it brown a little bit. We're going to add some fresh thyme, some butter. We're going to throw it into the oven. We've got 375 at convection. It's really going to get that nice golden brown gratin that we want. All right, let's hit it with some salt here. We're gonna make a little peppered honey, and it's just that. Fresh cracked pepper, some honey. Don't be shy here. This is really gonna offset that sweetness that the carrots have anyways. So go hard, go heavy. And there we go. All right, peppered honey is hanging out. We've got some unsalted butter. We've got enough salt in the dish. We want to control that, make sure that we have exactly as much as we need. Fresh thyme, can't go wrong. So we're going to add just a few sticks here. All right. And we're going to add this fresh thyme. You'll hear it pop when we throw it in the pan. That's how we know it's doing its thing. We can hear that noise. That's what we want to see and hear. And that's it. We're going to let it brown off a little bit. We're going to throw it into the oven here shortly. And then we're going to strain out our cheese. We're going to pull everything together. You'll see. It'll be awesome. Alright, so we have this lemon dill ricotta that we made earlier. We showed you how, super easy. We've got the cream, the milk, lemon zest, lemon juice, bring it to 185, call it a day. There we go. So the dill has done its job, and we're done. Thanks for coming. That's it. Now we're just going to strain this through a cheesecloth over a fine mesh strainer. All right, we've got the carrots in the oven doing their thing. By the time this strains out, we'll be ready to plate. It'll come together. It'll be great. Stay tuned. All right guys, so now we've got a herb roast chicken dish. We cooked off the fingerlings earlier. You saw that go in. We got some rosemary, salt, olive oil, done. Easy right there. We've got a nice organic piece of chicken here, and we're just gonna throw some fresh thyme. We're going heavy, don't be scared. Never enough time in the world. And some rosemary as well. Really good friends. I hang out at the pool party together. All right, that's it, easy. Some salt. We've got our herbed chicken breast. And we're gonna go over here to the pan. All right, so we're gonna place the chicken in, make sure it's nicely coated, push it down a little bit. Wash our hands, nice and clean. All right, stay tuned. When we come back, we're gonna plate this. It's all gonna come together. We're gonna serve it with the heirloom carrots that we've made earlier. It'll be great. Check it out. All right guys, welcome back. So this is the art of plating, and now we're going to talk about flavor combinations. What better place to start with a rustic dish like this? We made this nice ricotta. We had some milk, some cream, lemon zest, some dill, which will really come through nicely. Check it out, you'll see. And then we served it with some beautiful baby rainbow carrots. We just roasted these off with some thyme, a little butter in the pan to help that gratin going on. And here we go. So we've got the richness of the cheese and the carrots. We're gonna serve it with a little peppered honey to counteract the sweetness of the cream and the ricotta as well. And let's get plating. All right, so now we're ready to plate. That's what this is all about, right? On this dish, we're going to talk about linear motion more and still always having that negative space. It doesn't matter what it is. We want some big, wide, fancy looking plates. What better than this? All right, so we're gonna take the ricotta, make a nice little scotch on the plate, and using the back of our spoon, just kind of go back and forth. Now we've created that line, and everything we do is going to follow that. And this is just going to be super rustic. A little crisscross. All right, so we have the honey that we just added some fresh cracked pepper, a little spice to the dish. Just going to drizzle it here. And the pistachios, it's going to give it that textural difference that we need. We want a lot on the plate, but we don't necessarily want to cover it up that much. So we're just going to flip it around there and see how it goes. Get back there. All right, there we go. We have the lemon ricotta, heirloom roast carrots, peppered honey, and pistachios. Check it out. All right, so let's make this pan sauce. We've got our chicken sitting here resting. We're gonna slice into it. We're gonna make the pan sauce. We have some onion. Love that sound, right? Got the Dijon. And we're just going to swirl it around. Season it a little bit. And add our dry white wine. We're just using a Chardonnay here. You could use a Pinot Grigio, Sauvignon Blanc, anything would work as long as it's not sweet. And that's gonna add the acidity to the pan. And you'll notice what I'm doing here is really just getting in there and scraping off all those good, fun, tasty bits off the bottom of the pan. And that's it. Now we're going to talk about reductions. We are reducing the wine so we have the flavor, but not all the alcohol content and not all the volume either. So we are going to basically evaporate the liquid out of it. We're going to boil it the volume is going to reduce. And when we talk about reducing, we talk about volumes. If we were to reduce a cup of water by half, we'd be left with a half a cup of water. If we were to reduce it by 3/4, we'd be left with the remaining 1/4 of water. So right now, we're reducing it by 3/4, and we'll be left with just a little bit. We're gonna add in our heavy cream, and it's really gonna pull all those flavors together, and it'll be super nice. And then we're gonna plate. All right, so you can see here, now it's starting to thicken up. The shallots have cooked a little bit. Working clean. Now we're gonna add our heavy cream here. All right, so we've got the cream in there. We're gonna reduce that by about 1/4. It's really just gonna tighten it up a little bit. We already have the salt, the onions, the Dijon, and the white wine. And that's all we need. We've got the nice fun flavors from the pan roast of the chicken itself. And here we go. So that's it, that's our pan sauce. Add that to a pan. We're gonna strain this out, and all we want is that liquid. So we'll be right back. Let's talk about plating, all right? So we're gonna use the same style of plate that we've used before. It really lends itself well to what we're trying to do. It holds that negative space, makes everything pop, you'll see. All right, let's start with some fingerlings that we roasted off. Rosemary, olive oil, salt and pepper, done, easy. Let's throw another one in there. Why not? And then we made the pan sauce. We had the red onion, the Dijon, white wine reduction, folded in some cream. And why are we doing this on the bottom, you say? Because we want this to shine. We want the sauce to be on there, but we don't want it to cover up all this beautiful work that we put into the chicken. So we're gonna go slicing at an angle, at a 45-degree angle here. It's gonna make the pieces look wider, a little bit nicer. We don't want the top or the bottom, the end pieces. All right, that's it. We're gonna do a little finishing salt here and a little olive oil drizzle to make it shine a little bit right onto the chicken. Really makes it pop. A little fine flaked sea salt. So we have our herb roast, chicken breast, fingerlings, and a pan sauce. Any night of the week, you serve this to your friends, they're coming back for more. And then, so we talked about plating. Here, we're gonna keep everything high and tight. We're talking about height on the plate here. Make everything stand up a little bit, makes it look a little alive and vibrant, that sort of thing. So there you go, enjoy. All right, that's it. We covered a few dishes. We have this herb pan roast chicken with some fingerlings and a pan sauce. Doesn't get much nicer than this. If you're cooking on a Wednesday night for you and your love, or for 100 people, this is gonna be the star of the show. Super easy to bring together. We had the organic chicken breast, the heirloom fingerling potatoes, the pan sauce that had the Dijon, the red onion, and the white wine reduction, the little cream to bring it all together. And how sexy is that? Check it out. All right, thanks for checking us out today on The Art of Plating. A little bit about myself. So I spent 16 years in the restaurant world perfecting the art of plating so that I can bring it to your table. You can wow your friends with these tips. Stay tuned for next episode.